Welcome back to the Jenny McCarthy Show. It is BFF Friday, and I'm so excited because you guys know how much we love the Housewives, and Real Housewives of Dallas is on point. Man, they're kind of getting up there with the good old classics. I think my guest, I would put her in maybe like the LVP Bethany role of the franchise. It's LeeAnne Locken. Hi, LeeAnne.
Hi, gorgeous.
How are you?
I am happier than a pig in mud.
I love you so much. Real Housewives of Dallas, you guys, Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock on Bravo. Congratulations. Are you shining because of your new marriage?
My wedding. I had a wedding April 27th.
Congrats.
You're going to love his vows. He low-key stole my wedding.
Really?
I'm slightly trying not to be like irritated by it, but he took 3 months to write his vows. And they're so, Jenny, I mean, like rip my heart out, sew it back together and put it back in my chest. Yeah.
So he didn't give you 50 donuts.
No, actually, I was on the phone with him and we discussed that. And I said, you would be missing body parts if you gave me 50 donuts. First of all, I don't like donuts that much. Neither does he. And he was, a retired police officer. So.
Oh my God, it's so weird. But is your husband more the romantic one?
Oh, by far. By far. He's just quiet romantic.
Oh, that's kind of awesome. I know. I feel like Adani just runs circles around me in terms of the romance department.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're the dude and like,
I was just about to say.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do. I mean,
I'm like, here's $100. Buy yourself something pretty. I mean,
but I don't know what to get him.
No, that's what I feel like doing to him. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like the dude. Like, I just don't.
I'm totally the dude too. Totally the dude.
Maybe that's why it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Although I do let him handle the guns.
Ooh. Love that.
Yeah, I will say that first morning when he strapped a gun to his thigh, I was like, that's
You're
it.
like, hello,
Toast.
Lady Boner.
Yeah. Oh, I stayed in bed the whole day. There's a lot of humming in my bedroom that day.
You're so funny. I want to talk more about the wedding. Like, is it everything that you wanted to be? Was there any bridezilla moments you can confess to? Or
No. Steve Kimball, America's favorite wedding planner. I mean, the man is a ray of fucking sunshine. He just did everything. He's my best friend, and he was so protective. And he would give me like to-do list, and then as got closer, the to-do list would get smaller. And he was so protective. My friends were so protective. That day, I'm not dumb. I know perfect doesn't exist, but that day, I swear I felt like God just put me in this love bubble, and I just floated through the whole day.
Oh.
It was just beautiful.
That makes me so happy to hear. You looked so happy standing there.
I was. If you could have seen, wait till you see it. Like when they pull the curtains back, he's standing at the front and he just puts his arms out like this. And I'm like,
Oh my God, I love it. And I heard, like one of the girls were talking about how like you wanted the ceremony, and we saw you say this, but like classic traditional, and then just blow it out for your reception.
Right. And I eliminated the whole sit down dinner because that's like honestly the worst part of any wedding. Because you're like, I'm sitting with strangers and I'm going to pretend to be nice, but I have no clue who you are. And oh my God, thank God the band started, So I'm like, okay,
100%.
Go home, take a nap. Have a cocktail, then come back and just party your booty off. I mean,
it's genius.
Oh, you know what? It was just the best. I got the best of the wedding. That's why the day was so great. I mean,
you partied like us. We're like, food? Who the fuck wants to sit down and have food? Let's party your balls off.
Exactly. I mean, Sprinkles had an entire wall of cupcakes with our faces on them. There had to be 10,000 cupcakes. And then there was a huge meat and cheese board in the back that was like 6 feet long. And then, we had, oh my God, I think 4 different alcohol stations. So you could get whatever you wanted.
My God, we would have drank all of it. Me and my girlfriends.
Yeah, the vodka station was run over by the Roundup boys. I had the Roundup boys in the back. So yeah.
Oh, it sounds awesome. Is there anyone now in hindsight you're like, God, I wish I didn't invite her?
Just that one. Of 400 guests that attended, there was one that has something snarky to say. But the reality is, like, the snark comes from...
Carrie you're talking about?
Yeah, it comes from her,
Was that... drinking?
Yeah.
She
Bless
does
her
seem
heart.
to be very bitter towards you. Why is she so angry? She
like
hates
the new
me.
Girl. She 100% straight up like hates my Yeah.
Now, do you think, LeeAnne, that she's coming in for drama to be noticed and get popular and coming in after you? Or do you think there's a legitimate reason then why she's angry at you?
She doesn't know me. How you gonna hate me if you don't even know me? Like, let me fart first. Let me stink up the room. Give me a minute. I mean, believe me, I give you a chance to hate my ass. Just give me a minute.
So she's thirsty, basically.
She drank a lot at my reception.
I know. I heard her say it was like it's like she only spent $2,000 on it. I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about?
Bless her heart, because I wore over $3 million worth of jewelry just for the wedding. So that $1.5 million tiara just really ate her crawl, didn't it?
I know. I don't know why people. Again, I try to dissect the show too much, and I'm like, there's no reason for her to hate LeeAnne this much. It's got to be either jealousy, or she's thirsty,
or someone brought her in, and it's a plan. Because if we get LeeAnne miserable enough, maybe she'll leave. Child, I ain't going nowhere. You better sit your booty down in the back seat and take some notes, honey. I've been here a while.
Do you feel like you are building that brand enough to be like the LVP of the group?
I tell you, you know what? I think it's an ensemble cast. It takes all of us to make this show, 100%.
Of course, but there's always a leader.
But if there is going to be a leader, I would happily be that leader, only because I want everyone there. I don't want anyone to leave the group. I want everyone there. I want everyone to participate. I want everybody to have a good time. You want to fight? Let's fight, but then let's move on. And I think the three originals, me, Brandi, and Stephanie, are finally at that point where we're like, okay, we get it now. Yeah. I'm going to slap you in the face and then tomorrow we'll be fine. Yeah,
it's kind of like the New York philosophy. When you watch the New York, they
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I watch them and I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I want to be like Sonia, Dorinda, and Ramona and LeeAnne. Like, screw you. F off, and do you want to have coffee in the morning? Yeah. Okay, good. I want that,
I have to ask about Deandra because the skincare line thing fiasco, and her mom, who, by the way, looks like she's filled with formaldehyde. I don't mean to say that so meanly, but
she only has like 80-something wigs in her closet.
It's crazy. I'm like, oh my God, there's something fishy going on, okay? So Deandra's claiming that her mom gave her a failed business.
She did.
But so it was completely failed.
Everybody in Dallas knew that the company was redlined. Okay. Everybody in the city knew that the company was already redlining. And you know what? When you listen to D'Andra say, I think she did it because she wants to see me fail, I got to tell you, I got parts of me that truly 100% believe that. I mean, Diane, or as I named her, Mama D, loves to compete with her daughter, which is why her daughter has a tendency to love to compete with other people. Do you see the...
Got it. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But by the way, it's also sad to hear that because it's heartbreaking when you have a mom that does that. But it's cruel how their relationship... when you watch it and the mom's like, I've got so much money, and her daughter is actually hurting for money, correct?
Yeah, but I will say Dee has kept the company afloat. I mean, Dee has basically been the only reason that Ultimate Living and all them are still going is because Dee has been floating the business.
Okay, so where is she floating the business? What is she floating it with?
The money that Glenn left her. Yeah.
Okay, so she's got some money.
Yeah, her second husband. Yeah, she does. She has some money. She doesn't have Harold Simmons money, but
Does it drive you crazy that is its own character on the show? Especially
in Dallas. But in Dallas, it's its own character. I mean, I can't tell you, like, there's a certain echelon that are like, there is so-and-so. You want to get them in your host committee, I mean, that's always how it's been. And I learned really quick because I didn't have that. I wasn't in that echelon ever. So, I was like, hey, I can help you get the flowers.
I know. I love that. You're like the deal maker.
I'm the deal maker. I am. But you know what? I made the deals with people that I liked and respected, and I helped them build their businesses. And so that's why when my wedding came around, I mean, poor Steve was like, the people were calling him, hey, I'm playing LeeAnne's reception. Hey, we're doing the alcohol. Hey, we're going to donate the wine. Hey, we want to do that. I mean, it was off the chain.
everyone paid it forward for you.
They really did. I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, I said this, but I do. I felt like I'm the Cinderella of the city. Like that city came out in full force to say thank you to Rich for his 30 years of service to the Dallas Police Department and to protect and make our city a better place. And thank you, LeeAnne, for the charity work and the nonprofit and the awareness that you do to help our clients in the city who need help. And
see, you have so much more depth than being born into money. And I think that people really appreciate that.
Well, let's face it. I started working when I was 3.
Right.
Those pennies didn't come easy.
No, right? You worked your balls off for it.
I really did. Thank God, Thank God. Yeah, I did.
I know, and I'm proud of you. And the way that where you are right now, and from the beginning of the show till right now, you've really kind of developed into this.
Thank
LVP,
you.
Yes.
Thank you. Because I really say, like, I look back at season 1 and I'm like, holy shit, like, who was that? Oh my God, like you watch yourself and you're like, oh yeah, I didn't have that much to drink, and then you see yourself on TV, you're like, I'm slurring. Like, you need to count, girl. Let me just tell you what comes after 2, 8. Okay, like, count better.
I heard the other girls say that when they were being interviewed that you were much more restrained this season. You do have some moments, but when people attacked you, you were much more restrained. Where's that coming from? Growth, or watching yourself on TV, or?
It's coming from therapy. I still do a ton of therapy, but it's coming from becoming more aware of not just being a reactive person, which, my amygdala is great for, but like, I also started thinking like, this is what they want. And you're like me. When somebody tells me or wants me to behave a certain way, I'm like, oh, hell no, that's the last thing you're going to get from me. It's like, when you're at a bar and a guy's picking you up and he's like hot and heavy and you're like, yep, not going to happen.
Yeah, not going to happen.
But the cute one that's shy, you're like, yeah, let's go home. That's how I am with these girls now. So when they're like, believe me, there's going to be a moment in Thailand where somebody comes hard and heavy at my brand and it's ridiculous and so obvious. And you know what? I just sat there. Quietly, and you will hear my opinion in confession. But the reality is I'm going to sit there as long as I can listen to see if it's going to end or if there's a moment where I can change it. If I can't change their opinion or make the situation better, peace out, girl. I got to go. I ain't got time for this.
Exactly. And you know what? You kind of proved that in that roast, non-roast thing you did. Everyone was like snarking at you as you got up there, and you gave a beautiful toast.
They cut. You have no... Jenny, I was getting boo, boo, fuck off, LeeAnne. Oh, yeah. So that's why when that guy was like, be nice, LeeAnne, I was like, bite my dick. I mean, like, don't, don't tell me, like, I'm 52. I'm
you're a grown-ass woman.
I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm going to say what the hell I want, and I know what the hell I'm doing. And if I screw up, then correct me or say something. Don't tell me ahead of time.
What made you decide to go that route because, there's a part of me, I'm a Scorpio, that might have been like, I'm going to roast her a little bit. You didn't go there at all.
I didn't at all. Why? And you know why? Because when we had our lunch meeting, I specifically told her, we're not in the place for me to roast you. Like, why? Because I would eviscerate you. I know everything about you. Child, there would not be a rib left. So why would I do that, And besides, at this point, in the season, I mean, I'm honestly like, oh God, can we just not discuss my husband anymore? It's not your freaking business, okay? Number one. Number two, has anyone ever thought about how hard it would be for a pirate to cheat on his wife? There are so many pirates in Dallas, I gotta tell you. I mean,
you are fucking funny.
The
LeeAnne.
one-eyed guys are out the fucking chain. I mean, everywhere you go. Seriously, Rich dropped me off to come here. I got out of the passenger side, went to the back to get some stuff out of the trunk. Rich came around, and the woman in the car next to me was like, oh my God, I know you. That was to Rich, not me. And then Rich is like, oh, you know her too then. And then she was like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I just got out right in front of you.
He gets recognized just as much.
It's the patch. It's the patch. I'm going to have to start getting like a, I don't know, nose ring or something.
Why did she say something initially? Was it because she was thirsty to be on the show?
No, you want me to tell you? There is a woman in town who has had a massive crush on my husband since before I started dating him. She was his dental hygienist, massive crush. She literally has been so bad. Like, she went to the psych ward, like 72-hour mandatory hold.
God.
She beat up her husband. This is the woman who reached out to Deandra to say that she slept with my husband.
Oh, God.
She's also reached out to me to say that she slept with my husband. She's also reached out to every other person that we know. But, I mean, instead of doing background on who gives you the information, Deandra just took the information and repeated it.
Right. But you've known her for so long, and that's where my brain gets confused and my heart. Because I'm like, our friendships, we wouldn't do that. We would do it off camera. We would vet it.
Okay, but you said the word, our friendships. And that is where it gave me so much eye-opening moments for me, because it was like, okay, I know I was a really good friend to you. Is this showing that you were never really a good friend to me? Like, was it a love that was unreciprocated? I mean, I don't know. You told me plenty of times you love me, but I still have the flowers I carried in her wedding in my house.
Right. I mean, I feel like the show, it turns into sometimes Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like, they get that taste
Precious.
of totally.
Having that precious. I want my precious.
Yeah. 1,000,000%.
That you're just like either wanting to find their identity on the show, their ranking on the show. Who do you feel like right now would be labeled a villain on the show?
Oh, I'm going to go with probably me still. I mean, I get people who are like, LeeAnne's the villain. And I'm like, no,
Really?
I'm just like really misunderstood.
I don't think so. I mean, Cameron said she would be if she got to wear pink.
Cameron would be the villain if she got to wear pink.
That was her quote. Yes.
Okay. She also says that FOMO is fun of missing out. So I'm going to let y'all work with that. I love me some Cam. She's cute as hell, but apparently unicorns did not go to college, so we're good. She cute. She cute. She got that horn. She cute. I like her.
You cracked me up. I'm talking to LeeAnne Locken. She's on the Real Housewives of Dallas Wednesday nights at 9:00 on Bravo. There was some stuff going on with Brandi. I know her. She was like tweeting or something about her kid.
Oh my God.
What happened?
I've been messaging with her for the last 2 days. People are just saying horrible things about Brooklyn, and they're giving a child crap for her bad behavior. Listen, I just want to say to everyone listening, if you have ever been a 10 to 12-year-old and not given crap to your mother, please feel free to give Brooklyn and Brandi some advice. But I'm sure we were all a biasha or an asshole at one point in our lives. So the reality is, back down. She's a child. She's emotional. She doesn't know how to control her life. And you know what? You guys are not making the pressure any easier. And listen, I'm not giving Brandi parenting advice because God knows I didn't have any parents growing up. And people shouldn't either. Like, if Brandi wants parenting advice, she can go get therapy.
100%. And you know who I feel like those trolls are, by the way? Like young women without children. Unless you walked in those shoes, you have no idea. So you can be just a snarky ass, troll in their early 20s, no offense, early 20-year-olds, without kids, and be like, you need to fucking do something about that.
Yeah, I agree.
But so you feel like you're definitely there for her and helping her out right now.
Oh my God, I just messaged her this morning when I woke up, and I was just like, girl, please tell, because Brooklyn is really hurting. Apparently the kids at school are showing Brooklyn what people are saying. Yes, and Brooklyn is really sad, and that is what pisses, like, screw with my cast, but don't screw with their children. Like, that's off the chain unacceptable to me. Like, that pisses me off. And so
that would make me want to leave the show almost.
And I don't want Brandi to leave the show. And her children, I'm sorry, but I think Brooklyn is a comedy genius. Oh my God. When Brooklyn was like, you're not embarrassing me. You're just embarrassing yourself. I was like, oh my God. I called Brandi and I was like, child, you've got to get her an agent like right now.
I agree.
She's a genius.
She'd have her own show in a second.
Oh my God.
For all the bad shit she's getting right now, I hope that people send some love so we can start, Brandi can show her the love that's coming in too.
Oh, please. Thank you for saying that. I really wish people would do that because you know what? Brooklyn deserves it. I mean, God, well, honey, we all had bad days. I mean, I can't even tell you the bad days I had with my mom.
Right? We've all. That's why I said they haven't.
Yeah.
And the fact that you and Brandi got closer, and did that all initiated Andy Cohen's baby shower?
It did. You know, tequila can solve a lot of problems, babe.
It really can. So was it just like you guys had a few and were like, hey, and just started talking, or was there like a real moment?
We were at the bar together and we were talking, and you could see Stephanie behind us going, yeah, y'all get along, because it makes Stephanie's life better, right? So we're at the bar, and then we're at Craig's, and these two super young girls sit down next to us, and they're like, la, la, la. And somebody said it's a birthday, and Brandy's like, oh, it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I go, and I turn to Brandy, and I go, I'm pretty sure I could be their mother. And she goes, no, you couldn't. And then I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, I'm like, yep. And see, I wouldn't have even been a hoe, and I was a hoe. Like, I'm sorry, but I could have been like a legit, straight up legal to have sex and still been their mother. So
you crack me up.
You know.
I'm glad. I mean, is it a point to, like you said, you're going to try to make sure that you can repair the relationships moving forward?
Yeah, I think I'm at a place now where I don't want to fight, but if you come for me, you better really be ready.
And you better have, like,
get your shit straight. Get your shit straight. Because if you ain't got receipts, I want to see. Have you noticed we have not seen receipt number 1 on my husband?
Nothing.
But we still talking about it, but we ain't seen receipt number 1. Honey, you apparently have a very big wallet and purse. Why don't you pull those receipts out?
Right. That would drive, I got to tell you, LeeAnne, that would drive me crazy. If I was on a show and someone accused Donnie, I would be like, bitch, you are dead. Yeah. I couldn't control myself. The fact that you were able to maintain what you've maintained is amazing.
You know what? You can't fight ignorance.
Well said.
You can't. I mean, no. I can't educate the whole world. It ain't my job. You know? I mean, you got to grow on your own at some point. And look, I've worked hard on me, but I'm not a mom. I ain't raising nobody else, especially a 50-year-old.
Right. How is your relationship with your mom these days?
We don't talk. We don't
talk.
No. I find it easier for me that we don't talk.
You know what? It's smart. Boundaries.
I do. And, I think that I'll say this, and, I hope my mom didn't hear it. But in therapy recently, I have a really great therapist I'm working with. And she said, LeeAnne, you are 52 years old. You have to let go of the little girl in you that still wants your mother to come be your mother, because she's not going to do that. And at 52, you don't need a mom anymore. You've replaced that person with your friends. And if you look at my friends like Heidi and Cynthia, these are people like when something, tragic or fabulous happens, that's who I call.
Right. And how does that's got to feel so relieving to know that need and desire is gone.
I've released it, and I think that has brought a certain amount of like real peace to me. And then also I got to be honest, marrying Rich has instilled so much self love in me that I never thought that I could ever have. I mean, and I mean, to watch his excitement to want to marry me. I mean, for him want to be with me. Like, I'm batshit crazy, people. I know I'm not an easy human. But every day he was so excited for the wedding. And then the night that we fell asleep holding hands, and he was like, "Can you believe you're my wife?"
Oh.
And he still says it. He still does it. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so happy for you.
I mean, he's everything I've ever needed in life.
Isn't that great? Don't you feel so lucky?
Yeah. Oh, I feel grateful. I wake up every day so grateful, which is why when the crap comes my way, I'm like, toilet paper. Moving on. Flush.
This is why you are shining, and this is why you are just doing amazing, honestly. You're healing yourself. You're doing such a great job on the show. You're being a leader, a forgiver.
Yes.
Big one.
Yes.
LeeAnne Locken, I'm so happy for you. I hope you come back again soon and visit us. And please give Rich my love and tell him I just love you guys.
Yes, and he wants me to get a video of you saying hi to him. He is like a massive crush on you.
So why don't I make one right now? Give a nice one, and I'll send it to you right now.
Oh my God! Do you know break. I might not even have to have sex. Friday night when I get back. Tonight. Oh, I might not have to put out tonight if you do that. I mean, I'd be like, here, just watch this video a couple of times.
Funny. You are so funny, LeeAnne. Thank you so much. You come back, okay?
I miss you.
I miss you too.
Yes,
the
I
Real
want to
Housewives
hug.
of Dallas. I do too. Wednesday nights at 9:00 on Bravo. We'll be right back, guys. I'm making that video right now.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!